6 goals between both games for you guys. Just what's working so well offensively for your group to help get these wins?
You know what? I think we're just sticking to the plan. You know, we're being even keel out there, and when we get our opportunities, you know, we're capitalizing on them. So, guys gotta keep doing that, getting pucks on net, and keep sticking to the plan.
What was the biggest difference in the third period in this game? What did you guys learn from game 1?
Yeah, I just thought we were more composed. We were taking deep breath. I know they scored that one there, and took a deep breath on the bench, and then we come out and score one to get the lead again. So, it's just staying even keel, especially during the playoffs. You can't be too high and you can't be too low.
How do you describe what home ice has meant so far?
Yeah, it's been huge all year for us. We love playing in this building. We love playing in front of our fans, and I don't really know how to describe it, but it's just a feeling. We really enjoy playing here.
Warren, your first season with the Kings, but you're as intimate as anyone with this series. What's it been like being on the flip side of it this year?
It's playoff hockey at the end of the day. It's my first time against Edmonton in the playoffs, but it's playoff hockey. We saw that in last game, just how intense and how the games sometimes go. But it's been a lot of fun.
Warren, you saw for your power play to catch fire tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I think that was something we talked about coming into the series. That special teams have to be better, and kudos to our group. So we got to continue to do that.
Warren, you saw Adrian do damage against you guys in the playoffs. Well, what's it like now to be on the same side and still kind of hurt the Oilers?
Yeah, he's one of the more underrated players in the league. He's a big body, good skater, has a great release, and he plays hard. He's physical, and he's got that bite to him that's kind of annoying to play against, but he's also he's a threat with the puck. So happy to have him on our team.
Back to that power play, what are you seeing that's different?
Our power play?
Yeah, your power play.
I just think guys are moving the puck really well, and it seems like everyone's on the same page. And when you're all on the same page, it's a lot easier to do your job out there.
After tonight, how much do you sense there's an opportunity for you guys here? Obviously, up with a 2-0 lead.
It's the first 1 to 4, and we still have a long road to go. We just take it day by day. Celebrate the win tonight, but tomorrow, it's back to focusing on Game 3 and just taking it day by day.
Even just make a change the power play.
For sure, he's super dynamic. He's kind of a hockey nerd too, and brings a great personality to this group. But super dynamic, and he just loves hockey, and he's talking about different plays, and that energy. I think we're all feeding off.
Be on the other side this year. What's the personal satisfaction of your start against these guys thus far?
I don't think there is a personal satisfaction. The series isn't done yet, and kind of what I said before. You take it day by day. You can't get too high, and you can't get too low.
Do you sense any frustration on their side?
I don't know. I'm not on that side, so I can only.
I mean, their actions on the ice.
They've got some of the best players in the world on that team, and we know that, and you got to be aware when they're on the ice. But for us, it's sticking to our game plan and playing Kings hockey.
Warren, you, Phil, and Trevor spent a lot of time against 97 and 29 over there. What's that experience been like? It's obviously one of the toughest matchups in the league.
Yeah, they're the best players in the world. They're so dynamic. You got to respect them. You can't respect them too much, but it's a opportunity for us to go against them, and they're obviously going to make plays because they're so good, but try to limit them as much as we can. But they're such good players that it's going to happen too.
Brent, we talked in the intermission about what you guys needed to do in the third to keep the Oilers at bay. How well did you guys do at kind of keep them off the score sheet?
I think we executed kind of the same way we were going in the first 2 periods. That was kind of the mentality. Like, I kind of said that in the intermission too, that we kind of let them dictate the third period last time, and we luckily got to learn from that mistake. It didn't cost us too big, and we remembered that for tonight, and it went well, and we were happy to shut them down and just build confidence and ready for Game 3.
Your goal there in the first. What did you see? How did you see that materialize against their penalty kill? Obviously, you jumped up there, but how did it materialize from your vantage point?
Yeah, Foegele made a really good play on the wall. Phil kicked it out to him, and he made a really good play to keep possession of the puck and slip by the D. And once I saw it was a 2-on-1, I kind of was just like, the D slid. So if he didn't pass it to me, I wouldn't have understood if he just kept wheeling the net. But he found that little hole there, slipped it to me, and I was just firm on my stick, knew I had to elevate the puck, and I did. So I was happy with our execution. Morsey made a good play of being a decoy, made the D kind of stay back with him, so I was kind of all alone in front, and was really happy that it went in.
Brent, it's only your second.
Personally, what did you learn in the last game as your first game coming into tonight that you were able to carry over?
I think just calm the emotions. I think it was obviously game one. It was coming out of the gate. We played really well, but everyone was kind of angsty, and before the game, it was just kind of. It was a lot of excitement, and I think obviously you want to be excited, you want to have passion, but you want to also keep your emotions in check. And I think I personally, I think I noticed a better job in myself, and I noticed a better job in our team. And I think that's what was able to, for us, that was what allowed us to play a full 60 minutes today. And I think we're really proud with our effort.
Brandon, what have you noticed about how the game changes maybe in the playoffs? Is obviously your first experience, especially defensively for you.
Yeah, I think there obviously there's kind of their top line wants to carry the puck, but the bottom kind of other lines, they won't really, the emphasis is really just put it behind us and try to get bodies on us. So we really got to be ready for that. We really got to know who's out there, but kind of have our head on a swivel and just like know that sometimes they're not even coming for the puck. So we just got to know where everyone is. And I think I've done a good job of that. I think our whole decor has done a good job of that. And like I said, I'm just really proud of our effort tonight.
What was the reaction of the team after you got that goal? Because Edmonton had came out really hard at the start of the game.
We were excited. We were happy to get up one. We did good weathering the storm. Yeah, they came out really hot. They had good possession out the gates, but when we got that power play, our first unit had really good execution. We had some good looks, and then we got out there and we knew we only had 30 seconds. We had to get something to the net, and we did, and we executed well. So we were all pretty excited on the bench, and it was just it was good that we kind of kept that energy going into the second period.
What about 12 goals in 2 games and what that means for real home ice advantage, huh? And the energy in here.
Definitely. We're happy that the fans were so involved. They were so loud for us, and we're so grateful that we that they're so passionate. So it was cool. I'm happy we could reward them and give them goals and give them something to celebrate. So yeah, we're really happy with our performance, and we're really happy with how the crowd showed out tonight.
What's that moment like for you to score your first ever playoff goal? What's that moment like for you?
It was awesome. The crowd erupted, and it was put us up 1-0. It was awesome. My teammates were really happy for me. I was happy for myself, and it was just a cool moment. And obviously, but like I said earlier, it's an emotional game. So who can kind of weather that the best is gonna come out on top. And right when I got back to the bench, the guys were like saying congratulations to me, but the coaches made sure let's get back to square one here. Let's same job. You got your next shift coming up here, and I think I did a good job of just kind of managing that and being happy, being excited, and then kind of going back to neutral state.
How many texts do you think you'll get once you go through your phone?
I think a good amount. I think people are excited for me. I got a lot of support watching back home, so I think there's going to be some of my buddies and family texting me.
How big of an emphasis is winning the special teams battles for you guys in this series?
It's huge. Obviously, I think you can look in years past. They've had the better execution, but that's what it comes down to. Sometimes we've had a lot of emphasis on that coming into this series and just trying to, they have top high-end players on their power play. So I think our penalty killers have done an excellent job of kind of neutralizing that, just not allowing them too much time and space, not letting them do what they want to do. So we've been really happy with that. I think top to bottom, we've been supportive of each other, and I think we're just, like I said, really happy with execution.
What was the energy and chatter like on the bench when they scored to make it 3-2, and what can you say about playoff juice? A huge performance tonight.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like, like I kind of said, we've been here before. It was kind of like 2 days ago. It was kind of the same thing. We knew they weren't going to go away. We knew they have some of the best players in the world. We knew they're going to fight tooth and nail right to the end. So we were going to do the same thing. We didn't let that bother us. We were going to our next shift's going to be just as good. Our next period's going to be just as good. So I don't know. We stayed calm, and it was easy. And going to the juice thing, it's remarkable. His ability to just execute every little play. He gets on the score sheet, he makes some big plays, but he also just does every little detail properly. He's getting back. He's first guy back all the time. Everything he does is so crisp. So we're really lucky to have him.
Brian, you mentioned keeping the emotions under control. We talked to Jim a few weeks ago about how important your confidence as a player is and how much it helps you. How has that aided you in this first playoff series? Maybe not letting the occasion get the better of you because you're such a confident player.
Yeah, I think me personally, I do like the big moment. I do like the kind of big stage, and I just want to try to be a difference maker for our team, help our team out in any way. So I think that helped me. I kind of turned those nerves into excitement, especially in the first game, and coming into this game up one, and how resilient our team was last game when we went down there and to still finish it out at the end. I think that was boosted confidence for myself too, knowing I got this group with me. So that that's obviously a huge aid to me. So yeah, I'm feeling good. Our team's feeling good, and yeah, I can't ask for much more.
Other than basically 10 or 12 minutes, you guys have controlled them over these 2 games. Do you feel like you're the better team?
I think we've executed better. I think we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We're up 2-0. We're really happy with where we're at. But like I said, we know they're really strong. They're going to make adjustments. They're going to come out firing. They're going to be excited to play in front of their home fans. So I think we've done a good job holding it down at home. But I think we're really confident with where we're at. But we still got to execute. We still got to go up to Edmonton and make a difference and keep playing the way we've been playing. And good things are going to happen.
14 goals, 26 points in 20 games against the Oilers in the playoffs. What has been a key for you to elevate your game in the postseason? Even though you have great regular season numbers, you still find a way to be even better in the playoffs?
Yeah, more exciting time. Obviously, this is long season, so obviously it's it's tough mentally, physically to play throughout all 82 games. Playoff comes around, you get that little extra excitement in the body. I feel it around the team, around the building and everything. It's the building is loud. Like I said, you get some nerves back sometimes, and usually like to play in those type of games. So I know, very excited to come in and play every playoff game. So that's probably a big factor.
Mikey, you're on the ice a lot with Connor and Leon tonight. Talk about that challenge and maybe the success that you had tonight and how important that was when they load up like that.
Yeah, it's a challenge. I mean, they're both probably arguably 2 of the best, if not the best in the world. So try and slow them down, I guess. I mean, they're probably going to get some chances, get some looks, and that's why we got Darce back there. But just try and play them hard, take away some space if you're able to. But it's a group effort, with Dewey and then with Phil's line. I think they were out there for a good chunk of it too. So I thought everyone did a good job tonight, and try and keep doing that.
Mikey, a big difference between tonight's third period and Monday night's third period. What was the big difference for you executing in the third?
I think just trying to stick to what we wanted to do. I felt like we didn't sit back as much maybe. Still tried to make a little more plays instead of just getting rid of it. But obviously didn't like the way the other one went. So something to learn from, and it was a good response today.
Adrian, right here. Your power play was ranked 27th in the regular season. It's lights out in the first 2 games. What has been the biggest difference in your power play, in your opinion?
Confidence. I think it's the main thing. Obviously, we get Kuzi at the deadline. Kuzi's been great since ever coming here. Whether it's 5-on-5 or 5-on-4, he's you can tell that he's a guy that's been playing down low there before. He's really good and skilled, makes a lot of plays, and he's been working really hard. And with the puck, without the puck, I think he's been doing a great job, and he's getting awarded. So I think everybody on the team is really happy to have him. But yeah, he's been a big factor to why the power play has been a lot better too. But I think you score some goals, you get confidence. I feel like we've kind of built off that as well.
Adrian, a lot of your teammates over the last week have been talking about the fact that you bring an edge to the playoffs, but it seems like you've almost been playing a more composed game than you normally do at this time of the year. Is that a conscious effort this time around going up against Edmonton?
No. I think obviously pretty much only played these guys in the playoffs in my career. So I mean, it's know them better than previous years. You know them better every time you play them. But I think the first game, like I said before, you have some nerves going into the games. You're a little maybe too excited to play, and then the game today, I feel like settled down a little bit more. Play a little bit more off the instincts and stuff like that, and that's what I'm good at. So I think, like I said, like Mikey said, I think Phil's line did a great job against McDavid and Draisaitl today, and that made our line and some other lines get some more chances in the ozone, and we capitalized on those, which was really important.
Mikey, we always stress special teams big time in the postseason. So here you got the PK. You haven't given up a power play goal yet. And talk about the difference between now and the last couple of seasons against these guys, because that's a huge difference here.
Yeah, I think it's been a strength for us most of the year. Made some changes to it, obviously. I think it was a little slow start, but Guys got comfortable with it, but again, it's so far we've given up maybe a few chances. Darce has made some saves, maybe a little bit scrambly here and there, but again, that's going to happen. But again, it's a chess match too. They're going to change things. We need to try and adapt to it, vice versa. So so far it's been a good start, but I want to keep going with it.
Mikey, this is the first time that you guys have had a 2-0 series lead. This franchise hasn't had a 2-0 series lead since 2014 when it won the Cup. How much are you sensing this as an opportunity? I know it's only 2 games, but how much do you see this now as an opportunity for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we got home ice, battled hard for it, and we wanted to take advantage. So we were happy so far with getting the 2. Again, we'll come to the rink tomorrow. You worry about tomorrow, take what you need, get what you need, and talk about the game. And then again, the next game you focus on that, just kind of a day at a time. But so far, it's been a good start.
Adrian, how have you established confidence against a team that previously has had your number?
I mean, kind of build off what Mikey said. You know, we've been really strong home team this year. We got the home ice advantage. I think going into the series, I think that was kind of our mentality that, you know, we build off what we've done all year at home. I think we did show that in the first game. Yeah, it was a little tighter at the end than maybe we wanted to, but I think once again tonight, I think we come out, we play, you know, really solid 60 minutes. I think we're the better team throughout the both games. So I mean, yeah, confidence has been really good at home. I think it's something that we can build on. I think you know, going on the road now, obviously we would look to win some games on the road as well. We can't just, you know, rely on our home game throughout the entire playoffs. So yeah, road games got to be a lot better than they have been in the past.
Adrian, similar question. It seems like a year ago we were sitting here talking about how great their power play was when they eliminated you. How does it feel to go up to Edmonton, up 2-0, and the strength of your power play?
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, that was what we were looking to do. You know, we're obviously looking to win every game, but you know, we played 2 really solid games at home. You know, job's not done. We got to go up there, win at least 1 game. Otherwise, you know, it's going to be tough to win the series. You know, they're a strong home team as well. We're going to have to go up there and play similar style that we've done. Obviously, special teams is going to be really important. So far, I think we've been the better team in that area. But, you know, obviously, previous years, it was the other way around. So that means that, you know, special teams is a huge factor in the playoffs.
Yeah, Mikey, I wanted to get your read on Gabby's game in these 2 games of the playoffs. I mean, it's so hard to quantify the things that he does well at the defensive blue line in front of the net. So I wanted to get maybe some technical insight into what he's been doing well and what he's maybe even elevated a little bit from his fantastic regular season.
Yeah, he's been great all year. I think everyone, you know, this year finally got to see it now with him maybe getting some more matchups throughout the regular season, but he makes great reads. His stick's outstanding. He knows where to put it to, you know, whether it's break up a pass, even half the time it's just to maybe direct the forward a different direction. But he's super rangy. He's got a long stick. He moves well. I mean, when I got to play with him for majority of the year, it was awesome. He makes it pretty easy, but it's fun to watch, and you know, something I know he takes a lot of pride in, and we're very thankful he's found it, or I shouldn't say found it, but elevated it, and big piece of the back end for sure.
Jim, if we told you on Monday morning after game 2, 12 goals, 5 power play goals, 50% conversion rate, what would you have told us?
I would say it's probably a pretty good start for us. I mean, we scored goals down the stretch. We scored a lot of goals, I think, the last month of the season. Power play we got better since the trade deadline, so I would say that's a good start. We'd be happy with that.
Jim, other than 10 or 12 minutes in game 1, you guys have effectively controlled this series. Are you at all surprised it's been this decisive so far in the first 2 games?
I mean, we've played really well. I like how we've played. We've finished pretty well. You know, if you score that many goals. But tonight in particular, we had some shots alone with the goaltender and beat them. You know, we finished really well. So there's some different things that go into it. When you're finishing well, the score will go up a little quicker. But just generally overall, playing pretty good solid hockey, offensively, defensively. I think both parts are there.
Jim, this is the fourth straight year that Adrian Kempe has really elevated his game, at this time of the year. What is it about the way that he plays that just seems to thrive in playoff hockey?
Well, he competes, so now we're talking about Kempe, who's a 30-goal scorer or a 40-goal scorer or a 30-goal scorer. So it's not like he doesn't have a proven track record of scoring. And I think the one thing that we all appreciate about Adrian, for the people who didn't have a chance to see him, got to see him in the Four Nations tournament. And that's his work ethic, his tenacity with and without the puck. So I think, he got a lot of respect for the way he played the game. And we know him, as that, because we see him all the time. I think that type of game translates pretty well into the playoffs, and I think that's probably why you're seeing him being a pretty consistent playoff player like that.
Jim, could you just give us a thought on your thought process on playing the 5 forwards on the power play, and how hard was it to tell Drew that who's probably played the power play since he was 12 years old that he's not going to be on the first unit?
Yeah, it was hard. I mean, Drew is ran the first power play for a number of years, and certainly is capable of doing that now. We just felt he was out for a little while, and we went to the 5 forwards. Had some good success and just didn't want to break it up because they were rolling pretty good. And once you get rolling, the last thing you want to do is change too much. So Drew's a good soldier. He's a team first guy. So for now, he's just grabbing the reins of that second group.
Jim, there's every year we talk about which teams are built for the playoffs because it's a different season, right? So how is this team built as far as transitioning right from the regular season to what you do, and special teams, that's been everything so far in this first 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, I think we, for those who have followed us, the local media, we had a pretty good season, and really the second half of the season, I think we really started to get our footing. We liked the additions to the team. I think there was a priority on probably some size and some and maybe a little bit grittier players, stronger, that type of a player added into the mix this year by our general manager. And I think the regular season probably went as well as it did based on that. And then that's, a little bit more playoff style of hockey. So I think we've just carried it over. I think we established that in the regular season, have carried it over into the playoffs.
Jim, kind of jumping off that question and adding grit and size, Joel Edmondson's D-leading +3. His shot numbers look really good. I mean, just can you talk about how well he's played and maybe the extra element he's added to the back end compared to previous teams?
I thought he was really, in particular tonight, I thought, I played fine first game, but I thought in tonight in particular he was really good. He bumped into a few people with some aggression, and he's just a stabling force. He's got a really good, and I didn't know this about him, he's just got a great voice in the room, getting ready to go out and start periods. I hear his voice a lot, so first year on the team might have took him a little while, but he's certainly taking charge of that now, and he just backs it up with the way he plays.
Jim, of all the components of the game that you've liked over the last, couple of days, what's the most important element to take on the road with you now?
Well, I mean, we're going to go, our building was terrific for 2 games. I thought a great atmosphere from our fans. Probably started with the anthem and carried on. And, we've been in Edmonton. That's a loud, raucous building, so they got a good home crowd there too. So we're just going to have to take our game the way we played, energized by our fans, and play the similar type of game. And I think we play a road game type of style, so I think we, try to check first and manage the puck, which is typically got to do on the road, teams would tell you, to win on the road. So I think our game translates well on the road. We just got to make sure that try to keep the crowd out of the game if we can, because they do a pretty good job like us.
Yeah. Jim, over here. 11-7 is nothing new. Is nothing new for you. But what
down the middle?
Yeah. What went into just your decision to switch it up and go 11-7 tonight?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I'm not going to get into all that this time of the year. I usually try to give you guys a pretty fair assessment during the regular season when we do that. I'm not going to give you everything that went into it for tonight. And, some guys didn't play that much. Moverari didn't play that much. Hellenius didn't play that much. We'll keep that one to ourselves, but we've done it enough times that we know we're comfortable playing with 11-7. And so we'll see where the next game is. It could be 12-8, it could be 11-7. but I'm not going to give you any insight tonight.
Jim, do you think you have to remind your team to respect the Oilers more that they're down 0-2 going home?
No. I didn't have to remind them to respect them with down 0-1 or down 0-2. They respect the Oilers. It's a heck of a team. And so the respect isn't an issue. Just we got to make sure we just do the things that we do and focus on ourselves.
Final three, Andrew, Austin, Andrew.
How much have you emphasized over the special teams battle in this series, especially, and you guys are winning? Is that something you're happy about or something you really just kind of expect from the guys?
No, I mean, we talked about it before the series began. We all had a few days to talk about what the series might look like. And if you just reflect back to, I'll just go back 1 year, their power play was really good, and we didn't score a power play goal last year in the series, and that was a big difference. So that clearly was going to have to be an emphasis for us this year, and I think both the penalty kill and the power play thus far, it's been 2 games, have performed pretty well.
Jim, obviously open up the scoring in this game is a big thing for this team, but does context of that goal, power play goal, and especially one from a young player, his first career playoff goal in Brant Clarke, give your team a little bit of extra juice there?
Well, it did, and we had, that was their second group, right? They don't play a lot, so I really thought that was a big moment. I really did, that we got that boost from that group on an entry, and Clarke, who had been telling all year, hey, make sure you're not going up in the play too often. On the power play breakout, he's set up to get in there, so it worked pretty well for him tonight.
Coming back to Juice a little bit, I mean, his scoring is obvious, but also consistency. Last year when you were dry, he was still producing. This year you guys are really pouring it on, and he's leading the way. Can you talk to his consistency and also what he does as far as providing support defensively? Several of the D-men have been talking that up in recent days.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a penalty killer too, so you look at guys who score and then they're penalty killers as well. Usually the coach puts those guys on there that he trusts to keep the puck out of the net on a penalty kill. And so when you get that reward from the coach, you know that you're an all-round player. But I've spoken enough about Juice, because I think, and he would be the first to tell you, that his line has played very well together and complemented each other extremely well. We got Kopi out there still going pretty well. Kuzmenko is a great compliment to them. So I think as much as he's playing well, and I know he has in the past, I think his line, the chemistry they have on the line, is really what's driving him to be as good as he is so far.